Welcome everybody to a new episode of Flower Circus Talks. It's episode 89 already. Today we're going to have a special flower. Wedding season is starting in a lot of countries. So we're going to talk about Phalaenopsis, not just Phalaenopsis. Phalaenopsis as a cut flower. And we're going to do that with Carlo Scheele from Ichtus Flowers and Plants. So before I get him into the live stream, I want to ask you to like and subscribe, of course. So we know as a Flower Circus team that we're doing a good thing. So without further ado, let's quickly get Carlo into the live stream and see what he has to talk about, tell about the beautiful flower. Carlo, welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Carlo. I'm doing the sales for Ichtus Flowers for almost 3 years, and I hope you will enjoy this quick tour I will talk to you about. First of all, I think it's important to know how the Phalaenopsis is growing, because it's a long process, and due to this process, the flower is really expensive, and due to talking about this process, you will understand why the Phalaenopsis is that expensive. Because for the first year, the Phalaenopsis is always costing money. We are not making money, it's only costing money. And that is due because the slow grow. We start with a small pluck. This pluck is really tall, and it is put in a pot 12 centimeters. There it will grow for around a year. And after this year, we will select the good plants out of it, and we are putting them in the end pot, and that is a pot for 15 centimeters. And when the Phalaenopsis is in this pot, it will start the process of cutting. And this process of cutting takes 36 weeks for each round. And therefore, the Phalaenopsis is really expensive because you can cut 3 times of 3 stems in 2 years. So therefore, the Phalaenopsis is really expensive.
Yeah. So
and I will explain more. Oh, yeah.
The first part it is more than a year. So and then after that you cut it, and then another round takes 36 weeks.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, indeed. Yes, that's the process. And it's continue in a circle around. So the Phalaenopsis is entering several departments, and each department has its own activity. For example, the first stage is the hottest department. In this department, the Phalaenopsis is staying for 8 till 10 weeks. And it is important to know that the Phalaenopsis in this department is growing bigger for example, more leaves, bigger leaves, and the results are at the end for bigger and stronger stems. And you need stronger and bigger stems for high quality cut Phalaenopsis.
Yeah.
And if they are done in this stage, they go to the cooler department. And in this department, it is 20 degrees. And it's important to know that the first stage was around 30 degrees. So it will be a big shock. And due to this shock, the flower, actually the plant, thinks he's going to die. And everything in the world that thinks he's going to die will make sure there are some new links. So he will produce a flower, and the flower can produce a new plant, etc., etc. So in the cooler stage, the plant will give the start of his stem, and therefore, he can produce more Phalaenopsis, but we can produce more stems.
Okay, you're going to climb through the greenhouse while Alison Bradley is in and saying, "Good afternoon, gentlemen. Welcome, Alison, and everybody else, of course, watching." Like I said, we've got Carlo here walking around through the greenhouse.
Nice, kijk. So here you see the small stems beginning to grow. Yes, and this black oil you see at the left.
Yeah.
it's important for us taking care of the stems growing inside the table. I've made a picture.
That the black foil there is to protect the flowers. The flowers are all on tables, and to protect them from growing outside the table and during the internal transport that they got damaged. That's why they got the black foil there. Here we can see it as well. So all the flowers they need to be inside the table, as you can see here on the left-hand side. And now we're moving here. You can see the internal system.
Or
So that's how easy all the tables can move from one section to the other one. So from the warm section that we talked about, where the plants are growing, which is very important because a plant at Ichtus Flowers, they use it 3 times. And now I can see some really beautiful flowering Phalaenopsis already. So that looks beautiful. So due to the internal transport, it's easy to get the plant from one to another.
My camera isn't. I'm focusing on this beautiful flower. It is the golden treasure. It's our most sold Phalaenopsis with the color, because we are selling 18 varieties.
Yeah.
And out of these varieties, 50% is the Kobe. It's the white one.
Yeah.
And that is due to weddings, events, etc. Everyone needs mostly the white ones.
Yeah.
And for other events or flowering work, they use colors, and we have 17 varieties with different colors. We have purple colored Phalaenopsis, pinkish, yellow, white with spots, yellow with brown spots. So we have several colors, and yeah, you can look them on the website or Instagram or Facebook. We have showed assortment over there.
Like Carlo already said, he has a lot of, or they grow a lot of different varieties. I think he was showing this one. This is one of Carlo's favorites. So he will tell more about it once he comes back into the in the show. What we haven't talked about yet, normally in nature, the flowers bend and they grow sidewards. And this is what you can see here as well. And that's why they have a trick to put it on a line, and the line pulls the stems up so they will grow straight. Here in the middle you can see it, the white hook, and it's attached to wires which are above the flowers. Yeah, like Carlo already said, a lot of different varieties in the greenhouse. And let's see if he's already back or not. All different varieties. I think a lot of people know the white one, the Kobe, what Carlo said, but there are so many more beautiful varieties. But I think your favorite variety.
Yeah. It was the yes, the Carinelloa. It's my favorite one. It's also one of the newest one, and for me, it's not therefore the most beautiful one, because yeah, I'm only working over here for 3 years now, and this species already was introduced by Ichtus. So for me, yeah, the colors are and therefore I love this flower the most. But yeah, there are all of the varieties we have are very beautiful.
Carlo, now that you're back, a quick question. With the varieties, you've got varieties for cut flowers and for pot plants, and you can't mix them, right?
You actually can, because the Carinelloa, my favorite flower, is an example of it. We buy them as a pot plant, and at the first round we cut those flowers. Yeah, then the plant doesn't have stems anymore, and then we put them in the final pot, the P15. So yeah, you can use yeah, real normal Phalaenopsis and make it
Yeah.
a cut Phalaenopsis. But yeah, actually, most of the varieties we have are special cultivated by for cutting the Phalaenopsis.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it is true, but mostly it isn't. So yeah, therefore, yeah, it's difficult to answer. And
Yeah.
for all you guys who are watching this live stream, I think it's important to know that Ichtus is really doing a great job by listening to the customers, because we are making every order every customer wants. So if the customer wants one stem, we can deliver one stem. If a customer wants 10 stamps, we can deliver 10. And we go deeper in this.
And also with packaging, they also have different packages. Like Carlo said, we already had this interview a little bit before. Um, if you have an order for one stem, for 10 stems, mixes, whatever, they can fulfill your order. I think that's very important to know. So if you have a wedding, which is of course for that person the most important day of his or her life, or and then it's very important to have the right color, the right quality, and things like that. Also, when you're using Phalaenopsis in really big arrangements, and you need the stem length, that's really important. So you can use every stem. Then it's good to call the grower as well, and say that you need a minimum stem length there, because there is a strange system in Holland that the flowers are auctioned and not the stems. Um, so if you buy on the auction, you buy the amount of flowers. You don't buy the stems, you buy the flowers. So you never know if there are long stems in a box or there are shorter stems in a box. So if you want to make sure you have the same length for every stem, it's good to order them from Ichtus.
We deliver auctions with 25 flowers, and those 25 flowers are, yeah, you can have a box with 5 stamps, with each stem with 5 flowers, and you also can have a stem with 12 flowers and 13 flowers.
It's very important to be in direct contact with the customers, not only for the orders, but also for some new things, because every year they test new varieties as well. And Carlo wanted to show two of those varieties to us as well, to get some opinions of those varieties. This is one without a name. Very curious what you think of this variety. And the other variety that Carlos sent it to us is a 100% white one, which is called White Lips. I'm very curious what you think of it. Is it the pure white? Does it make it special? Or is it the pure white makes it difficult to use in bridal bouquets and things like that? I'm very curious what you think of it. So please leave your comments. Also Ichtus knows, yeah, if you like it or not. Here you can see how it looks in the greenhouse. I mean, it's orchid heaven almost in the greenhouse, with all those beautiful varieties which are growing there. And because the tables are going through the whole system, it's easy for them to pick them as well. So if you have an order of a special variety, they don't have to run through the greenhouse and damaging maybe some flowers. The flowers will come to them and they can harvest them right from the table. After harvesting them, they put them on tubes, like you can see here. And once they're on tubes, there's a special team who is packing those flowers carefully for you, so you can receive them wherever you are in the world. Phalaenopsis as a pot plant, we know 15 degrees is a minimum. On how
Yes.
many degrees do we need to store the flowers?
It is important that you store them between the 6 and 12 degrees. 10 degrees is optimal because otherwise you increase phase life, and phase life is very important for cut Phalaenopsis.
Yeah.
So yeah, 10 degrees is optimal,
So
and a lot of guys of you don't know that. So yeah, keep that in mind.
that's really something I think a lot of people don't know yet about Phalaenopsis, because everybody thinks it's a tropical plant. The plants are also, yeah, we need to keep them warm, otherwise the flower buds or the flowers will even fall off if they are too cold. But
Yep,
if you have it as a cut flower, it needs to be colder. So that's
yep.
very interesting.
It needs to be handled way different. And what you thought about the plants, it's true. They need warmer temperatures, but when the stem is cut, it needs to be at 10 degrees. And if you keep it at 10 degrees by transporting them, it's the best way to guarantee the phase life of 2 weeks.
Yeah,
And you can use the flowers at an event with 20 degrees. That isn't not a big deal, but for transporting it's important because yeah, it takes sometimes 3, sometimes 4, sometimes 5 days. And if you will guarantee the phase life in this stage of transporting, you need to keep them cooler.
yeah.
So yeah, that's important.
Okay.
And before I lost you guys, I was telling about packaging.
Yeah,
So yeah, I will explain you more about it because I have optimized the packaging
yeah,
I was telling you about. And for each variety, we have searched for the optimal packaging because the flight costs are really expensive,
yeah,
and due to Corona, very it's reached the skies. So yeah, it's more expensive than ever before, and yeah, therefore the optimal packaging is really necessary. And for example, uh, the bigger stems, the 9 plus stems, we can package with 10 till 12 flowers in each box.
yeah,
And smaller stems, we can use 24 stems in a box. So it's really a different when you put 18 stems instead of 24 stems because you lose 6 stems. And if you
yeah.
have that 3 times, you pay one box more. So yeah, it costs a lot of more.
Yeah, it's really nice
And
that you're helping the
for each
customer as well.
customer, we can make a box he wants.
While Joe Hammond is saying hello, I have some of your beautiful Phalaenopsis here in Leicester. I smiled when I bought them, as I remembered meeting you both at juries in Holland. Yeah, we showed them. Carlo was there as well during the BFA, and we were there as Flower Circus as well, and showing those beautiful Phalaenopsis. The nice thing is, I think with the weddings going on, or now more weddings going on, and everybody wants to have his own style and his special thing, that there are so many different colors and varieties of the Phalaenopsis available. So, like Carlo said, not only do they have Kobe, which is 50% of their production, the white one, but with all the other ones, also with smaller flowers. So if you have a smaller wedding bouquet, it fits perfectly. Uh, Smaller flowers, also with branched, so it really looks good. So if you can look at the website of Ichtus Flowers, you will see all the varieties they have. And so if a bride wants to have something special, not just I mean, Phalaenopsis is already special, but if she wants to have something more special than a white Phalaenopsis, there's such a wide choice of varieties. Yeah, I want to thank you for watching. I will post more videos and some of the pictures as well in our stories on Facebook and Instagram, and also on YouTube. So please don't forget to subscribe and like, so you will see the information that Carlo was giving us, and maybe you want to give us some more information, so we will make a video and tell us those things as well. So I would like to thank you for watching. Next week we got a magical online show again. We've got a new magician. We've got Pascal Zeilmans. So I'm really happy that we've got somebody new in again, and he's going to make some commercial, or not some, he's going to make commercial arrangements and bouquets. So I'm really looking forward to next week's show. You can already register for the show on our website, flowercircus.nl. So I hope to see you next week. Have a nice weekend and stay safe, everybody.